All right, so the second learning objective for this unit is to be able to, of course, delve into some of our major philosophical approaches in considering the right of religion in context of these approaches. So we have here the utilitarian and Kantianism, but we're also, and I'm actually going to start with the harm principle. You know, arguably the most plausible restrictions on religious freedom are justified by the harm principle. You know, to take an extreme example, let's just consider, a religion that holds as one of its central tenets the idea of human sacrifice, right? So this is a religion that wants to do human sacrifice as a way of honoring the gods. So, in America, virtually no one would endorse the right of a religious group to engage in this type of behavior. And even if it's their most cherished belief, or even if they believe they're required to do this. And largely because of the harm principle. As I mentioned in the previous video, prohibitions on polygamy are often supported by appeals to the harm principle as well. Right, as the government argues that most people feel that the practice of polygamy is harmful to women and children. And I think one of the great things about the Sister Wives show is that it is countering that popular held narrative that these aren't women who are being taken advantage, but these are women who found great value in the practice of polygamy. These are people who find, it's nice having somebody else to share responsibilities with, somebody a built-in babysitter, somebody else who I guess is on your team and supportive of your life and ambitions and goals, right? And so, anyways, a lot of times it's the harm principle that is being turned to when we establish policies or philosophical policies to the extent of religious freedoms. In terms of Kantianism, the right to religious freedom seems related to the right to freedom of conscience, which in turn seems related to Kantian concerns about individual autonomy and human dignity, right? This idea that the individual should be free to do as they please, that they shouldn't be forced to do anything, and that we are ultimately concerned about the worth of a being, of every being, that all people should be treated with dignity and respect. Now, the connections between these ideas might lead the Kantian to embrace a strong form of religious freedom, perhaps even encouraging overt government support of religion. The class, one thing that we might want to consider are Kantian considerations that push toward a much weaker conception of religious freedom. Perhaps we should consider this based on the fact that many prominent religions require individuals to submit their own personal judgment to that of some religious authority. Anyways, just some food for thought.